and welcome to the 80s-est, the podcast that uses your votes to determine the most totally 80s song ever to blare from the tinny speakers of a canary yellow Walkman. And in the heart of rock and roll, it's Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Keith Marsteller. Joining me from Seattle, it is the creator of the 80s-est, the biggest 80s badass who ever lived. He was a mullet haver. He is my longtime friend, and he is the co-host of this show. It's Joe Walk. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Keith. Yeah. Had a mullet twice. 2 mullets. I grew 2 mullets out.
2.
I also, at one point, had a perm.
So beautiful.
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it.
It was majestic.
No, it was pathetic, dude. All right, so I just want to point out that this is our 50th episode.
Woo! Yeah.
In honor of that, we are dispensing with our scripted opening bit, and instead,
Okay.
I have a question for you. Here's my question for you.
All right.
What 80s video game
All right.
do you feel
Uh-huh.
is the best analogy for human existence?
Oh, wow. That's
For
deep.
life.
That's deep. All right. Well, I was not given this question before the show, so
No.
I'm going
You're
to
thinking on your
just.
feet.
All right, I'll say Pitfall by Activision. You know.
Okay, why?
Well, you know it. Yeah. There's pitfalls in life, Joe, and you have to jump over a couple alligator heads. Sometimes you got to jump on an alligator head, even though alligators are dangerous. Or maybe they were crocodiles. I don't know. It depends on what country it was set in.
Yeah.
Probably
Who
crocs.
knows?
They're probably crocs. Anyway,
Let's go with crocodiles.
you got to jump on a crocodile head now and then to get where you want to go, you know, which is across
Okay.
to the other side of the pit. And sometimes when you fall, ooh, you got to climb right back up and try again, right?
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. What about you?
Okay.
You got one?
I do. I'm thinking Tapper.
Oh, the bar, the
arcade
beer.
Classic. That's right. The
Dispensing?
arcade classic, created, sponsored by, and manufactured at the direction of Budweiser,
I did not know that.
featuring the Budweiser theme repeatedly. Is in there, and for me, it's because you get in the rhythm and you think you're doing okay, and then more people are demanding more things from you, and then you are just flinging shit down the counter.
And hoping it sticks, huh? Hoping somebody
hoping it
grabs
sticks, and hoping it doesn't crash, and then someone, crowds of people move up the bar to you and wave the money in your face and are angry with you.
Wow.
So I guess it's because people are constantly angry with me, and I'm dropping glasses all the time.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
all right. That's just a quick little peek into Joe's psyche, everyone. I love it. Is there any chance
Is that a
that
Frogger? I don't know.
yeah, that's a good one actually. Getting flattened and any chance that Tapper inspired the mega hit Tom Cruise movie Cocktail?
Oh,
Probably.
it is a direct adaptation. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, people say video game movies don't do well, but god damn it, Cocktail was
That's right.
incredible.
They do when they star Tom fucking Cruise.
That's right. Wow. Well, welcome to now. See, we're gonna have people begging for scripted openings to come back after this one.
No. They'll just say, "Why don't you just skip those openings altogether and just get to the fucking
Just start
matchups?"
talking about the show. Well,
That's it.
welcome back to the 80s-est.
Welcome.
Joe. It's our 50th show, and I'm
5-0.
gonna celebrate by doing something I said I was never gonna do again.
Ooh.
That's our celebration. Little Sly Fox. Okay, so.
Just when you thought it was safe.
Just when you thought it was
This is
safe
the
to go
80s
back in the podcast, back comes Sly Fox. So today on the 50th show, and congratulations, Joe. Did you ever think we would get to 50 shows when we started this thing?
No. I thought we'd crap out after 5.
Yeah, but here we are. We've got dedicated listeners and commenters, and it's just been a ton of fun. And
It has.
And we're slowly winding down this field. And today we're going to finish up the entire third round for the foreigners.
Without foreigner.
Thank you, Joseph. Region. Third round. Today we're going to reveal the 4 songs that made it to the Sweet 16 from this region. And then we're going to match them up and discuss them. And then let you guys vote for a week. We'll be gone for a week. And then we'll come back and hit 4 region finals in a row.
That's right. You have time to really mull this, to really chew this one over.
Yes. So please do. Yeah. And all right. With no further ado, Joe, let's reveal the 4 songs that have advanced.
All right. Well, this region was kind of the exception. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, all of our other regions, we had a little Cinderella sneaking in there. We had some lower seed.
Several outliers. We had 12, Crush. Yeah.
This one, not so much, because our first matchup, right, we have our number 1 seed, Take On Me by Aha.
Yes.
Going up against number 4 seed, Soft Cell with Tainted Love.
Oh, wow. So that's going to be a fun one to talk about.
Do ya?
And good thing, guess what? We get a chance to do that in a few moments. But first, the other 2 to make it in this straight chalk region are 2 seed Sweet Dreams, are made of this, by Eurythmics against 99 Luftballons by Nena, the 3 seed. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 that, walked right through to the final semifinals here. And we'll see if the chalk holds or,
Pretty packed region. And these 4 contenders, they're real good.
Yeah, this region felt especially dense with good stuff to me. But
Indeed.
All right, well, let's start right up with matchup 1, Joe. And you just said it. What are we gonna do?
It's again number 1, Take On Me by Aha, going up against number 4, Tainted Love by Soft Cell. And how did they get here, Keith?
Well, Take On Me beat the tar out of 8 seed Safety Dance 70-30. So not the worst drubbing we've seen by a long shot. A respectable 30 for Safety Dance, and we bid them farewell from the tournament.
Still pretty definitive there.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, a bit closer. Was number 4 seed Tainted Love, which beat number 12 seed and darling of both of us, Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant. Eddie Grant losing 57% to 43%.
Much closer. Well, let's check in on our ability to predict these things. And it turns out that we both voted for number 1 seed Take On Me. Despite our affection for Safety Dance. It just wasn't enough.
And it's a 3 out of 4 for us because, once again, we split on the undercard matchup there.
Yeah.
I voted for number 12, Electric Avenue, while you went with number 4, Tainted Love, as did the majority of our audience.
I remember feeling as though I had betrayed Eddie Grant in that moment when it came out of my mouth. But it is something that has happened, and there's no taking it back.
Eddie was laying there on the floor in a pool of his own blood, looking up at you, saying, "Why?"
A very Nancy Kerrigan-like, "Why?" I galoolyed him. Yeah.
I missed the Nancy Kerrigan-ness of it, so I apologize for that.
No, it's fine. So let's discuss. No,
I was going with like an old lady kind of thing.
I got you there.
But your Nancy Kerrigan makes more sense.
Why?
Although it's more of a 90s reference.
It's 90s, but, she rose to prominence in the late 80s. Anyway.
Okay.
Let's hit these 2 songs, and then we can start discussing them. Here's a healthy dose of Take On Me. I'm going to jump ahead in the song here. And, yeah, here we go. Just to get a little other part of it. All right, well, that's a big chunk of Take On Me, and now we'll follow that up with a heaping helping of Tainted Love.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away, I've got to get away from the pain you drive into the heart of me. The love we share seems to go nowhere, and I've lost my light, for I toss and turn, I can't sleep at night. Once I ran to you, now I run from you. This tainted love you've given, I give you all a boy could give you. Take my tears and that's not nearly all. Tainted love, tainted love. Now I know I've got to run away, I've got to get away. You don't really want any more from me to make things right. You need someone to hold you tight, and you think love is to pray, but I'm sorry, I don't pray.
All right, I'm going to jump, time jump.
Now I'm gonna pack my things and go. Tainted love, tainted love, tainted love, tainted love. Touch me, baby, tainted love. Touch me, baby, tainted love. Tainted love. Tainted love.
All right. There's
Oh, boy.
big chunks of both because I think this is going to be a tough one to figure out. And
Yeah,
but first, let's discuss our enjoyment or not of these songs.
Okay.
And Take On Me, Joe.
I have a tremendous amount of fondness for Take On Me. I love it. How about you?
Take On Me might be my favorite 80s song. So
Okay.
I'm trying really hard to remove that from the equation, but
It's not easy.
yeah, it's not easy
Yeah.
at all. What about Tainted Love?
Yeah, how do you feel about Tainted Love?
I really like it. I mean, it's super 80s. The one we'll get to it, but I liked it less after seeing one of the videos. I think. But the song itself, I should say, I think I didn't like the artist as much after seeing one of the videos, but
Yeah.
it didn't tarnish the fact that song is super 80s, and I especially enjoyed it with the "Where Did Our Love Go" medley. What about you?
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love that
Yeah.
song. I
Yeah.
can't help it. You throw in all the sex dwarves you want. I
Yep.
still love Tainted Love.
Yeah, and so on we go to figure out which one to vote for. So
Yeah.
Take On Me, I would say, has a couple of things in its column that are hard to argue against. And one of them is the iconic video versus the
Yeah.
Tainted Love video, right? So,
Videos.
yeah, there's two videos for that one. And technically, there's two Take On Me videos, right? Because they
yes, that's
reworked
right.
the song, right? So,
That's right. Yeah.
but let's
But
say that.
I would say that the AHA videos one is clearly the one everyone knows and
Yeah.
clearly of superior quality, whereas Tainted Love,
You can't tell
both
which one is the B-level video there. Like,
they're both pretty atrocious.
However, they're both better than Matthew Wilder's Break My Stride video, which appears to just be a segment of a television show, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Just solid gold.
So, if we Marilyn McCoo,
right.
so, if we were putting check marks in columns, like, for me, the video check mark goes to Take On Me, and it's hard to argue against that, right?
That's true. That's true.
What if you were putting some things in columns though? What would you anything strike you that you would want to discuss?
Well, we are at this point where it is just being super picky, right? And just finding the tiniest things because these are both so strong. So maybe you want to say the fact that wrote, that they wrote this song, and it's an original song from the 80s, and that Tainted Love is a remake from a song from the 60s? 60s or 70s?
60s, I think, at least the
60s,
first version that they...
Right.
There were several versions of this song.
I'm sorry, because now we're going to get like a 5-paragraph thing from Denny on Northern Soul.
Which I started watching I watched about a half hour of a... documentary on Northern Soul, thanks to Denny. I still have to go back and finish it, but
okay.
Yeah, this is that whole Northern Soul movement,
right?
Which we weren't aware of that in the 80s, though. You and I, right?
No.
Yeah, Denny has definitely more depth of knowledge about just about all of the music stuff than you and I.
Yes, but as we, I think, said in the pilot episode, and as we said in our old podcast repeatedly, we have no depth of knowledge, and we celebrate that fact.
Yeah, we have a breadth of knowledge, though.
That's right.
So we've got that going for us. Now, the thing we've talked about in recent weeks, it's come up more as we get deeper into the podcast, is the cultural touchstone factor. Right. And where do you feel like that comes out on this one? For me, I'm finding it hard to separate my feelings about Take On Me. Is it just me who thinks that that's a way bigger touchstone than Tainted Love, or do you differ?
No, I think you're right. I think I remember Tainted Love when it came out. I would say that probably I listened to it more in college. I had a friend of mine who was a big fan of the song, and so probably that's where it hit me more.
Okay.
Again, I've told the story before. Carnation Mall, video jukebox, playing this video for Take On Me. I think it's probably definitely more of a touchstone. I think there's another one where it's the music. It's the music, right? The musicality of these two songs. That's where it's tough.
That's where it's closest. I think.
Yeah.
If it's like a seesaw, Take On Me is down on the ground and Tainted Love is up in the air for all these other categories.
Right.
If you just only talk about the music itself and listening to it, then it's a little more closely balanced because
right.
Soft Cell did take and change the shit out of this song, right? And made it it's unrecognizable from the original.
Fully of the decade with that sound, and really when we played both these songs, I just kind of tried to just close my eyes and just listen as thoroughly as I could, and I found myself like at various points going back and forth, like, oh, I'm definitely going to vote for this, or I'm going to vote for this, and because they both have just all those layers that we love.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and the thing that Tainted Love has going for it is, more of the British sounding voice.
Right.
That's kind of more toward that British Second Invasion, where, these other guys are Norwegian. They don't have it. That dude's got a good voice, but it doesn't sound as much like the... Oh, go ahead. You were going to say.
No. I'm just it's. I think, and here's where names have just left my head. The lead singer of Aha has a much kind of cleaner voice.
Yeah.
And the lead singer of Soft Cell he does not have a great voice.
Is it Mark? Is it Mark Almond? Is that guy's name?
Yes, Mark Almond does not have, in my opinion, an amazing voice, but he sells it.
Yeah, he sure does. The lead singer of Aha's first name is like Morton, but I for the life of me cannot remember his last name. Something Scandinavian, I'm sure.
There you go. Morton Flurleberg.
Son.
Yeah, we'll go with
throw a son on the Flurleberg son.
There you go.
Anyway.
I apologize to our Norwegian friends. My wife, who is of Norwegian heritage, I'm sorry.
As am I, and I should be better. I should be better. And I love Norway. I visited, absolutely loved it. And I obviously love the song, and yet I don't know the guy's name. But
there you go.
But yet I know Mark Almond.
Yeah. It's pretty simple.
Once you've seen a guy in a toga, you tend to remember his name.
Yeah. Plus, he's a nut.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he really is. I don't know, Joe. Do you have anything else you want to say about these songs?
I don't think so. I think this is one of those where I think talking through it has clarified things for me in a way that just listening didn't.
Yeah.
But I think I have a decision. How about you?
Yeah, I'm trying to forget that this is like my favorite 80s song. And so I'm trying to lay it out in a scholarly fashion, and there's just too many check marks on the Aha side in this matchup for me, even though Tainted Love is fucking great and super 80s. I'm going to go and take my vote, and Take On Me will get my vote in this round. What about you, Joe?
Same, yeah. Again, listening to the two songs, I went back and forth, but I think talking through it, like you said, there's just a few categories where Take On Me just has more going for it. So there you go. 2 votes for Take On Me.
2 votes for Take On Me, and it's a 1 seed for a reason. It's super strong,
right,
and culturally significant and all that. Tainted Love, I won't be surprised if it gets a ton of votes, or even if it upsets Take On Me, because I can't tell anyone, well, that's not very 80s. It's super 80s, guys. So vote for it if you will.
Yeah.
Denny.
Follow your heart.
Yes, please do. Follow your heart, unless it's to vote for Crush on You, Joe would say.
In which case, fuck your heart.
All right, Joe.
Your heart is bullshit.
Take us to the second matchup, please.
The second matchup goes a little something like this. It's number 2, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Eurythmics, going up against 3 seed 99 Luftballons by Nena.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 powerhouses, the 2 and 3 seed from this region. Here's how they got there, Joe.
How'd they get here?
Number 2, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Kind of humiliated Kim Wilde and Kids in America, the 7 seed. 87-13, Joe. It was the Kids in America fans kind of did that Homer Simpson gif where they kind of pulled back into the hedge and disappeared, if you know that one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm aware.
You're aware. Okay. And so Sweet Dreams kind of walked over in that one.
Yeah. The other matchup was a lot closer. 99 Luftballons won against number 11 seed She Blinded Me With Science. It was a lot closer. It was 59 to 41%.
Yeah.
So Thomas Dolby making a much stronger showing than did Kim Wilde.
And he went home anyway, just like Kim Wilde did. But did we get these right? Let's find out. Well... It turns out, we both voted for number 2 seed Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, and we nailed that one, Joe.
Yeah, we did not both nail the second one because you voted for number 11, She Blinded Me with Science, while I voted with the crowd and voted for number 3 seed, 99 Luftballons. So once again, we were 3 out of 4 for that one.
Yep, okay. But we have avoided then completely, because this was the last one, we've avoided in this round the 0-4. Hasn't happened.
That's right.
So we did that. We're pretty good at this.
Yeah, you're above 50%, man.
Yeah. So, all right, it's time to get to the best part, the music. And here's your rhythmics with 2 seed. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Sweet dreams are
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit.
Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused.
All right. So there's a nice piece of Sweet Dreams, including that really kick-ass like synth riff in the middle there. Like, so hot. All right.
Yep,
And
yep,
now a different sounding but pretty powerful tune here. Nena and their 3 seed 99 Luftballons.
Hast du etwas Zeit für mich? Singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont. Denkst du vielleicht grad an mich? Dann singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons und dass sowas von sowas kommt.
And a quick jump to here.
99 Jahre Krieg ließen keinen Platz für Sieger. Kriegsminister gibt's nicht mehr und auch keine Düsenflieger. Heute zieh ich meine Runden, seh die Welt in Trümmern liegen, hab 'n Luftballon gefunden. Denk an dich und lass ihn fliegen.
All right, so big, supersized chunks of each of these. Give you a little bit, rather than just the open, kind of jump around a little, get a few flavors from the inside and ends of the song, and there you go.
Yep.
So, get through the formality of discussing if we like the songs. Sweet Dreams are made of this, Joe.
I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs. How about you?
Top tier song for me too. It's definitely up there.
What about 99 Luftballons?
Yeah, that's got massive experiential cred from being from the year I got my radio and being like one of those very first pop songs that I kind of hung out in my room and listened to. Mm-hmm. And plus, I mean, that riff is undeniable, and the bass, forget about it. What about you?
I love that song too, and much like you, experientially, this was high for me because I have very, very clear memories of being on the bus for a school trip. Must have been the one to
DC,
Niagara Falls. I didn't go to DC. I went to Philadelphia, which would have been when your 8th grade year. Yeah, I think. And then when you were a freshman, when I was in 8th grade, we went to Niagara Falls and Toronto.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I listened to this on that trip along with a few other tunes that have been in the countdown.
Awesome. I got lots of stories from that Toronto trip, but I'll save them for off the air. So most of them include our mutual friend Steve's failed attempts at wooing a particular girl who I won't embarrass by saying her name on the air. But,
oh dear. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hilariously bad attempts. So anyway.
I mean, he got better at that sort of thing later on, we'll say.
Yeah. I assume he must have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it couldn't have been worse. So anyway.
All right, let's get down to it.
We like both of these songs. So once again, the same caveats are out there. We are looking for the tiniest little bit of daylight to separate these two, right?
And so, this is much like our first matchup. Close my eyes, listen to these two songs. I went back and forth. Because when each of them was playing, I'm like, well, I have to vote for this.
Yeah, when it's on, it's the best one. It's the most 80s one. And then when the other one's on, all of a sudden, like, oh, wow, did you hear that? Like...
Yep.
And they're both. I mean, both of those riffs are just. You got it at this point in the contest. They're iconic, both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, again, experientially, both of these songs were pretty huge for me.
Same here. Yeah, that's what makes this so tough. And then. In terms, and their popularity was also pretty similar, and that's why they're sitting here at a 2 and 3 because they have a lot of things in common. 99 Luftballons is the final non-English song and left, English-speaking song left in the tournament. That really doesn't affect its 80s-ness, but we do have that we do have that German thing.
Right. We talked about the
Germanification of American culture. Yeah.
We had there.
And then the whole German thing kind of slides neatly into the Cold War discussions. And this song
it's got that Cold War paranoia.
This song, Luftballons, contains the Cold War paranoia.
Yeah.
So we've got that. What else do you want to throw out there as something to consider? I mean...
we talked when Sweet Dreams Are Made of This was going up against Karma Chameleon. We talked about Annie Lennox's iconic status as the androgynous pop singer out there.
That's true.
And how singular she was, which Nena wasn't.
I didn't know really what Nena looked like until we started doing this podcast, whereas Annie Lennox is in her power suit in the video. Like, I knew that image with her shocking red hair and all that.
Yeah.
And
the talking about videos, as we've said, the Sweet Dreams video burned into our brains, whereas I don't know that I'd ever seen the 99 Luftballons video until we were researching for this show.
So we made ourselves watch it. Yeah, I'm sure that I hadn't seen it. Yeah, so that's So yeah, if you're putting check boxes,
video box check definitely for Sweet Dreams.
Yeah. Now, do you feel, if we bring up the cultural touchstone argument, do you feel one of these has a larger, like in the last matchup, Take On Me was like vastly above Tainted Love for me in terms of Gen X touchstone. What about this one, though? Do you have a feeling? Because I can't really push this one either way.
Here's where I go on that.
Yeah.
I think these two songs probably are about similar in their status as Gen X touchstones. But if we expand that out, the bands, the groups, you got to say definitely Eurythmics are much more of a cultural touchstone.
Okay, that's fair.
For Gen X than Nena. Sorry,
Yes.
Denny. It's just true.
I mean, Nena, I love it. Yeah, Nena, this is a great song by them. But like we have once said, Eurythmics Rock and Roll Hall of Fame act, as Dr. Janet pointed out, right?
Yeah.
So
and this is not to say again that Nena didn't have other songs that were fantastic and did
great in Germany.
Nena, the singer, hasn't gone on to great things, but
she has done some great work. That song that
I've never heard any of it.
The song that she did with Kim Wilde is fantastic. It's almost like an 80s song from the 2000s. You'll have to check it out.
See, this is the thing is, I have not had time to go and give that a listen, although I will.
Yes, and both John Booth and Denny have served that song up. And there's another Kim Wilde Nena collaboration out there. There's two of them to check out. But we digress back to this. But yes, agreed. Eurythmics are definitely by themselves as a band a bigger cultural force than Nena was in America, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But and that's the kind of tiny distinction we need to get to carve out who we're voting for here, right?
Yeah, and I think for me, and I'm bringing the ship into the dock here.
Yeah,
I think my mind is making itself up right now. It's not. I don't have to divorce myself from. I really love this song because I really love both these songs.
Yep, same here.
Both great.
Yeah, that's the good thing in this matchup is I don't love one super more than the other one.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you're coming into Doc. Do you have any final statements before you say a verdict here?
No, no, because this is, again, this region was so strong, at least the top four seeds, that if I don't vote the way that other people do and the way the song actually eventually goes, I'm fine with it, because these are both really good songs, in my opinion. But just like in our first matchup in this round, I'm looking at the boxes that we checked, and I think I have more boxes checked for Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, and that's what gets my vote. How about you?
I think it's so close because I have such a strong experiential tie to both of these. It's hard to let one of them go, but facts are facts. And, of course, you can let opinions rule your vote. I'm going to go with the boxes that we're checking with videos and cultural significance and all that. And I, too, will let that just slightly tip me to Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. 2 votes to start off for Eurythmics and possibly send them on their way to the Elite 8. Possibly. We'll see.
Possibly. But we have to see how everyone else votes.
There's a lot of
and
Nena
here's
fans.
How that's going to happen. Yeah. People are going to go to our Substack, the80zest.substack.com, or they're going to find us on Facebook. They probably aren't. If they search for the 80s podcast, they might find us on the threads. They won't, but if they do, we are at the 80s, the _80s_est, or they could email us, which no one does. Our email is just dusty at this point, but we are the 80sist@gmail.com.
Awesome. We'd love it if you subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, or especially on Spotify, where we have our region playlists sitting there alongside our podcast. And so those are all great places where you can subscribe, and then our new episodes just get shoved right into your queue. You might be out
just
shopping.
poured right into your ear holes.
That's right. And so grab that, subscribe, maybe even leave a review. It'll help people find this show. And
talk about how you tore my soul apart by voting for Crush on Me. You can talk about that in your review.
You could talk about bastards. Talk about how much you love the scripted bits at the start and finish of the show.
Leave us all the demerits you want for that.
Yes, come for the music, stay for the scripted bits. Yes, well, oh my goodness.
Or fast forward right now, because another one's coming up right here.
Well, yes, you're right, Joe. That is going to be all for today's show. We're wrapping it up here, but join us next time on the 80s-est when we will reveal our Elite 8, Joe. We're going to be down to it, and there's going to be just one matchup per region. And so that's right. We're going to be doing regional finals the next time you hear our voices. But this will happen after a 1-week hiatus. And so look for us 2 Mondays from now to return to your inbox and just giant matchups of titanic proportions coming at you. Right, Joe?
Yes. In the meantime, you can go listen to The Daily from the failing New York Times.
Oh.
Sorry, they're pissing me off lately. I can't help it.
That's okay, man. It's all right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wish you a good start to your new school year while we're gone.
And happy vacation to you, sir.
Thank you very much. So until next time, on behalf of Joe, this has been Keith saying, hey, Joe, were you a Toys R Us kid?
I mean, not really. I mean, how would I be?
Right, you're right. The nearest Toys R Us was, 30-minute drive for us out in the boonies? So, okay, neither of us then, I guess.
Right, yeah. That sounds right.
Well, so I guess that bit really fizzled right on out then, didn't it? Nothing to talk about.
Yeah, it's true. This one sucked. I mean,
Yeah,
you didn't get to make me say a bunch of dumb shit about toys. I mean, we didn't really even have toys out in the country.
That's true.
All I had were wooden Nixon and JFK action figures, and I would grab them and I would make them debate. But Mr. Nixon, ask not what you can do for your country. Oh, Mr. Kennedy, I am not a crook. Those were good times.
I don't want to grow up, Joe. That's...
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
okay, thanks for that.
At this point, kind of too late.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I could play with.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got the best for so much less. You really flip your lid.
From bikes to trains to video games, it's the biggest toy store there is.
I don't wanna grow up, cause baby if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
More games, more